Hey everybody, welcome to the 79th edition of Drive-Thru Review. Today I'm going to talk about Rocket Jockey. It is a 2 to 4 player card game from Mayfair, and it's actually part of their Fun Fair line, sort of like a family game line. I've been playing this game with my son Timothy, and we are going to tell you a little bit about it. Okay, so here we've got a game of Rocket Jockey set up. You can see we got planets 1 through 9, and so they include Pluto as a planet. And obviously the first planet's Mercury, third one is Earth. And then what you do is you deal out of these deck of cargo cards here, and you deal them out underneath the planet. Now you can see on the cards, for example, this one is number 3, and this is for Earth. So this one wants to go to Earth, but it's underneath Venus here. Now obviously you can never deal out a card for the matching planet. So 3 on 3 wouldn't work because it's already at the planet it wants to go to. So you deal these out until you've got a cargo under each planet, and then you set aside your deck of cargoes off to the side, and then you've got a deck of movement cards here, and you can see like this one says 1 to 2, or it can be 2 to 1. So when you play this, you can move a cargo from planet 1 to planet 2, or planet 2 to planet 1. So you got a whole deck of these, a whole variety of these. So you deal out 3 cards sort of to the general display there, and then each player will get 2 cards to start the game with. Then players will also get a little cheat sheet here for scoring. You've got a front side and a back side for end of round scoring. And then each player will get 4 of these co-pilot cards, and they come in different colors here. So you got blue, red, purple, and yellow. So you'll start with these, and you just put these face up in front of you. The game also comes with this alien visitors card and an alien cargo, as well as this little rocket, and I'll explain those in a little bit. So as I said before, you start the game with 2 of these movement cards. And then the first step on your turn is going to be to refuel, basically to draw a card. So you can draw a card off the top of the deck, or from one of these cards face up in the display. And then if we had a discard pile here, you could also draw off of the top card of the discard pile, like so. So let's say I wanted to draw this card, I'll draw that, and that's not going to automatically refill. It'll refill at the end of your turn. So now I've got a third card. So now, if I didn't see anything that I could do, I could draw a second card, and that would be the end of my turn. But then I could also try to make a play or make a shipment here. So if I wanted to try to ship one of these goods, you need to be able to make a complete and successful shipment on your turn. So simply I've got a 2 to 3 or 3 to 2. Well, that means I'm starting at planet 2 and I'm going to go to planet 3. So I can just play 1 card in this case to move this good from planet 2 to planet 3, from Venus to Earth. Then I'll take that cargo card and I'll keep that in front of me. Then I'm going to look at my scoring here. I'm going to see, okay, I played 1 card. I spent 1 card to do the shipment, so I'll get 1 point. Now that's not quite ideal for my turn. So another thing I could do is you want to basically spend as many cards as possible, up to 5 cards. So I've got this set of cards here, let's say. So I can go from 2 to 4. So I'll take this from 2 to 4. And then we're going to use the rocket to keep track of that. So what you do is you basically pull this card down, saying you're starting from here. I play that. I go from 2 to 4, put the rocket there. Then I go from 4 to 3. And now I'm at 3, and then now I've got this card. But I've spent more of these cards, and you want to spend as many of these as possible. So I'll discard those in the order I played them. And then I'll look at this, and so instead of getting 1 point, because I spent 1 card, I'll get 3 points. So you can get all the way up to 15 points. If you spent 5 cards jumping all over the place, you're going to get more points on your turn. So you're going to spend some turns, maybe drawing 1 or 2 cards, trying to set up a cool movement to get a lot of points. And then you're going to, spend other turns moving cards around, hopefully, more than 1 card at a time. And that's where these co-pilot cards come in. So you can spend 1 co-pilot card per movement card. And when you do that, you can modify one of these numbers up or down by 1. So I can make this a 2 to a 4, or a 1 to a 3, or something like that. So that'll help you change and give you a little bit more flexibility. So when you spend one of these, it's removed from the game permanently. And the thing to keep in mind with these is they're worth 3 points each at the end of the game. So you don't really want to spend these, but they're there for you to sort of adjust the cards that you have. Now the second thing you can do with these is you can actually place them on a good to sort of claim that good for a round. So if I drew some cards and I knew, okay, I drew 2 cards, so I don't have any more play, then on my next turn I want to claim the rights to ship that. So it'll go around the table, nobody else can ship this good, and then it comes to my turn. Now if I ship it successfully, then I get this card back. If for some reason, if I can't, if maybe I took a gamble that a card would come up, then I'm going to lose this. So that's the second use for this. So there's actually two types of cargo. You can see you've got a regular cargo here and an express cargo. And I should say, I wish these were a little bit more easy to differentiate, because this is one of the things that me and my son sort of had to keep an eye on to make sure that we were shipping express versus regular. Now when you ship an express cargo, now let's say I had spent 2 movement cards to ship this to its home planet. Well, normally I'd get 3 points, but if you do an express, it gets an automatic bump up to the next level, so I would get 6 points. So it's nice to keep an eye out for those. So basically you're going to play through this deck twice. So as you ship cards, you're going to deal new cards out into underneath these different planets. And then once you go through these one time, you're going to then add in this alien visitor card. And then he's going to come out, he's going to be somewhere in the bottom 4 cards of the deck the second time you go through it. When he comes out, you set him off to the side up here, and then he'll start here, and you can see this alien wants to get to Earth. So after the turn of the person that triggered that, at the end of everybody's turn, this is going to move down. So the game's going to end when he either gets there naturally, moving down round by round, or somebody actually is able to ship this guy from whatever planet he happens to be on their turn to here. And he counts as basically 2 express cargoes. So he'll bump down 2 levels. So he's pretty cool to ship at the end of the game to get some good points. So you're going to have 2 planet scorings in the game. The first time you go through the deck, you're going to score planets. And basically what that is you're going to take all the cards that you've shipped and then figure out how many different kinds you have. So in this case I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different planets that I shipped goods to. So we're going to look at that, and you're going to get a little bit of a bonus scoring. So in this case I get 10 points. And if you shipped all 9, you'd get 35. So you're going to do that the first time you go through the deck, and then at the end of the game again. And then you're going to add up all the points, and whoever has the most points is the winner. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the overview. Timothy first is going to tell you what he thinks.
I really like the game because you really have to think ahead, and you really have to plan. Like say it was at 9 and you had to get to the 4th planet, which is Mars. You would really have to have enough cards and like really have that down in your head and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so he had a game the other night we played, and he had like a nice 5-card, turn that he was going to do, and he had worked it out, but it was just close enough to not quite get there. So, but he's gotten really good at sort of planning ahead and sort of taking cards together that will chain off each other. That's a little trick you can do. So if you got one card that ends in a 6, you get another card that ends in a 6, you'll be able to go through that 6. We played it just as a 2-player game. It takes us about 45 minutes, even now after having played it a couple times. So it gets kind of thinky, but it's nice. It's easy as a nice, easy 2-player game. It's fun, and you got that sort of balance between trying to do like big turns every turn to get a lot of points, but sometimes it'll present itself so you've got easily like a 1-card play to get a cargo from a planet that you don't have in your stack yet. So that'll help you at the end of the round score a good chunk of points there at the end. So yeah, we quite like it. It's fun. It's pretty quick. I mean, it does take a little while, but it doesn't really feel like it's taking that long. So we quite like it. So anyway, definitely a good 2-player game. He's going to be 11 here in a month, and so I think it's right. Not even a month. You're right. Not even a month. So yeah, so it's good. It's got that sort of nice, sort of somewhat long-term planning. It's got some of those nice elements in there sort of for a strategy game. So yeah, we quite like it.
And I really think this game is awesome, and if you have kids or anybody else that you have anybody to play with, I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is one of the games he's really liked a lot over the last few months. So okay. Yeah, thanks.